Good morning, everybody. This is Esports Money's ESM Mac 10, whatever you want to call me, and today we are going to be going over a game I played of Terrorblade yesterday in the jungle. I played very well in the mid to late game, and I'm very salty this morning or this afternoon because I just recorded this entire video and the audio was fucked. So now I'm re-recording this whole playthrough and analysis of this game. Same everything. And as you can see, it's quite a long video, so my voice is starting to hurt a lot. So, standard build, I don't even bother to scout the ruins. I'm going to go to the jungle with my 3 slippers of agility and my circlet. And I'm going to run straight to this camp, which will be an ogre. I don't make the second illusion in case there's a centaur there. I don't really like doing that, to be honest. I just suicide a little bit more and don't even worry about it. I will send my illusion back now. I'll actually send him too far back and forget about it, but that's okay. He's going to come on back and help me do some damage here. I've gotten much more comfortable suiciding on this hero, twice. In fact, my normal build is usually suicide either once and run back to base, or suicide twice. That's usually how it goes now on this hero when I jungle him. I found it to be very efficient, even more efficient than the way that Matrice plays him. So I almost always suicide on him now. Meanwhile, you see I hit level 2 and I've got Metamorphosis, but since I'm so low and I want to have mana to make illusions, I'm just going to make another illusion and then suicide. Relatively soon. I should be able to finish, I'll finish a Wraith Band, get a little bit more money, and then suicide. I'm going to skip ahead because this pause goes on for 10 years. As you can see, I killed that creep, suicided to this, this red Ursa, and then went back to base. I'm going to skip over the pauses pretty hard this game. So now I'm back, making illusions. I didn't buy the Quelling Blade, even though I had the money to, because I have Metamorphosis up, and the Metamorphosis illusions are ranged, so they don't benefit as much from the Quelling Blade as they do just raw stats. So that's why I opted to finish the Wraith Band and get another piece of another Wraith Band, rather than just get a Quelling Blade. If I had already used Metamorphosis before I suicided, which is very rare that I do, but if I had, I would get the Quelling Blade instead of the Circlet. I probably would still finish the first Wraith Band before I picked up a Quelling Blade, but I would be more inclined to get a Quelling Blade faster if I used my Metamorphosis before I died. Make sure that you always have enough mana for at least one, preferably 2 illusions after you use Metamorphosis when you're jungling that first time through, or even the second time you use Metamorphosis in the jungle. Because if you use Metamorphosis and you have no mana for illusions, you essentially just wasted a big cooldown, a really big cooldown, like 140 seconds. That's an assload of time. It doesn't feel like that much when you're playing Terrorblade. It honestly really doesn't feel as bad as it is, but it's still 2 minutes and 20 seconds. So keep an eye on that. Now I'll get the Quelling Blade, of course. I'm gonna suicide again relatively quickly. Trying to think of what I will finish. I will finish another Wraith Band before I die again. Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And I'm just gonna do as much damage as possible to this. I think I tried to stack there. And I think I could have if I'd walked all the way. I'm not sure why I ran away there. But whenever I suicide, pick a big creep or one that you want to kill quickly when you come back to life, and beat the brakes off of him before you die, so that he's a bit lower and there's less health for you to grind through when you come back. And now we are walking back. We are walking back to the jungle. Next on the recipe list for a bullshit game, we're going to finish our 3rd Wraith Band, get our brown boots, and start working towards a Yasha. Meanwhile that's going on, though, we won't put any Yasha pieces in our inventory because I usually will pick up 1 TP at some point in the game during a Terrorblade game before I get my boots of travel. And that's just so that I can teleport to a lane that I see pushed out, or a lane that has no heroes in it, so I can go there, Metamorphosis, and grab a quick easy tower. And as you can see, pretty standard stuff. Got my 3rd Wraith Band up now. Got a troll camp. This time I'm actually going to kill the small troll first and then harass the big, or attack the big one. But the big one will make the minions. I actually want to fight the minions this time because I'm really farmed and I don't really care because I do so much damage and they have so much health. I'm not really farmed, but you know, with this, unlike with Lycan, or at least even with Lycan, after 5 minutes when it's this late in, it's okay for the troll to make those little minions so that you can kill them. I've started to play this hero and jungle him in the same way that I do Lycan now, to a much greater extent. In the sense that I don't bother stacking as much, I just use an illusion to tank for me and then farm. I'm waiting right now, that's why I'm not attacking, because those 3 camps need to respawn. They just respawned, I'm going to move in and start killing them. Something else I want to point out, I max illusion first and I max metamorphosis second, every game no matter what, unless I'm laning. If I'm laning, then I will... Honestly, when I lane, my build gets weird. But anyway, I mean, it really depends on the lane I'm going against. But that's the last time... That last time I used Metamorphosis will be the last time I use Metamorphosis in this game just to solo farm in the jungle. From now on, I'm going to hold Metamorphosis and just use a single illusion to either A, tank for me, or once they've gotten low, to back off and just help me do more damage to these creeps. And what I do with that is... essentially... what I'm going to be doing now is essentially just AFK farming the jungle, using one illusion to tank, and then when I see a tower get low, I'm going to... Or not when I see a tower get low. When I see a lane undefended, I'm just going to go to that lane and kill the tower. Generally speaking, the best lane to look at is the mid lane for this. Sometimes your safe lane or your off lane is a good place to go to knock down a tier 1 tower. But the big advantage of the mid lane is that you can really see if there's a hero there very, very easily. There's a very short distance from your TP to the enemy mid tower. And the mid is also really likely to have left his lane to roam and gank, depending on the hero that they put mid. I mean, if it's a Naga, the Naga's probably going to be there, but you'll still see people... Mid lane is one of those lanes where you have someone that's almost guaranteed to be roaming. Not almost guaranteed, but more. At least it's more likely on a general basis than it is for the other lanes. As you can see, I'm playing relatively greedy here, but what I'm doing is I'm continuing to farm the jungle, but what you won't see by just watching this replay is that I'm actually my eyes are not in the jungle right now. That's why my hero is taking so much more damage than the illusions. I'm staring here, here, and here. I'm checking the minimap constantly, trying to calculate or notice exactly when Slark will leave the mid lane or top will lose their lane. Because honestly, mid is the easiest one to push, and I'm just looking to be able to push it. I want that tier 1 tower. That's easy gold and a lot of experience. And my Metamorphosis is ready. And remember, if you're low on health and you can't pick up that big piece of your Yasha, pick up a smaller piece. That way you won't lose as much gold. Always buy out before you die if you think you're going to die. That's one of the biggest things that's one of the best things I can teach anyone in this game. And I burned all that. I didn't really burn any mana there because I TP'd and immediately used Metamorphosis. And now I'm pretty scary. I'm at full health, full mana. I'm about to make a second illusion, and I'm in Metamorphosis form. Metamorphosis form's level 3, illusions are max level. And this is about 9 minutes in the game, so it's not a heck of a lot people can do against me if one person shows up to try to stop me. I should buy that. Yes, I bought my Blade of Alacrity. And I'm just going to keep right-clicking this. I could just... Really, at this point, I could just leave my illusions here, but I have no idea when the fortification is going to expire, and I want as much DPS in that tower as possible to make it more likely that I'll get the last hit, because the last hit on the tower... You have to last hit a lot of towers, and missed a lot of last hits on a lot of towers, before you really come to appreciate how much gold you get from last hitting the tower. It's a lot. It's game-changing. It's pretty huge. Okay, and now I'm back to what I was doing prior to what I was doing in mid. I'm just going to continue to farm these 3 camps, possibly spread out and farm other camps, and I'm going to be looking at the top lane to see if I can grab anything there. I'm also going to be looking to finish my Yasha. At this rate, it'll probably be about 10:20, 10:30. I don't remember exactly when. And at 10 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll have a Yasha, Brown Boots, 3 Wraith Bands, and a Quelling Blade, which is a pretty good start. And then I'll be looking on trying to finish my Boots of Travel as fast as possible. Games that really allow you to play this way are really, really passive games. Terrorblade is not a hero that does well in passive games. At least not the way I play him. I mean, he's not a hero. I'm sorry, he's a hero that doesn't do well in aggressive games. In games where you're trying to defend your tier 2 towers at 15 minutes in, Terrorblade doesn't really do that much. I mean, he can team fight, he can help. I mean, he's a good hero for virtually any situation, which is why a lot of times I'll just say, fuck it, I'm playing Terrorblade and insta-lock him. But at the same time, Terrorblade is a hero that he really, really does love the space that he can get. If you create space for Terrorblade, it's more effective than creating space for almost any hero in the game. I honestly think that he will change up the metagame pretty substantially when he comes out. Like, I think everyone will be complaining about Terrorblade again when he comes out in Captain's Mode, because professionals will start playing him in will start drafting him in pro games, and when that happens, he'll become popular in the pub scene again. And yeah, he'll probably get nerfed even harder because he's just so fucking good. I hope he doesn't. I think he's a wonderful hero. I think he's really fun to play, and I would hate for him to lose his jungling potential. But he's really good right now, and I hope he stays that way. He's still really, really strong. A lot of people are like, well, it's good he got nerfed, but really, like, the nerf doesn't really do a heck of a lot. It hurts his strength gain, but not that much, and his strength gain was always pretty bad. He mostly relies on items for everything. Alright, now we're at 11 minutes and 50 seconds, and I have over 1,300 gold towards my 2,000 gold recipe for a Boots of Travel. If I had Boots of Travel before I made those illusions right there, I could have just actually walked up and killed that Slurk because I move so much faster than he does normally, unless he pounces away. Now I'm 500 gold away from Boots of Travel, 12 minutes and 10 seconds in. Item progression is really, really big on Terrorblade, more so than almost any hero, but he really relies on being able to last hit at least one tower. You need to be able to kill one tower, and you need to get the last hit on it if you're Terrorblade, or you need to kill 2 towers if you don't get the last hit on them. But getting the last hit on a tower it's just massive for Terrorblade. Once you get the Boots of Travel, the game really changes for the hero. You don't feel so weak anymore because you can chase people down and run away from them so easily because you have the Yasha and the Boots of Travel, and Terrorblade's base movement speed is pretty good. I'm at 401 movement speed right now with just Brown Boots and Yasha. This hero really, really loves moving fast. And I should be stacking this camp, but I don't. Oh, I know why I'm not, because I'm just leaving. I'm gonna probably... Actually, no, I'm gonna play greedy here and continue to farm the jungle, and I'm gonna have the courier bring me my recipe. I think that's what happened here. You'd think I remember better, because I just casted this whole game. Again, I'm just farming the jungle, and I'm looking for... Basically, I'm just trying to get up enough money to get a Sange and Yasha, because after you get a if you get a Sange and Yasha by like 16 minutes, and you have the Boots of Travel, the 3 Wraith Bands, and the Quelling Blade, you're kind of terrifying. Get it? Terrifying? And additionally, when you're terrifying, being terrifying with Terrorblade is not just about killing people, it's about making people not want to come stop you from pushing. It's something that's really, really cool about the hero. Remember, always kill the small range satyr when you're trying to stack a satyr camp, medium or large, because if you don't, then a lot of times they'll just block the lane. The window for them to block the lane is very, very small compared to a normal creeps. You have like maybe... You have to pull very, very specifically, and so even when you do it right, it usually won't work. So kill that little kill the little satyr. It's actually something Matrice taught me when I was asking him about how to play this hero.
Yo, green dudes, something bad is happening in your bottom.
Now, I actually yelled at this Tinker, and he's like, please don't take my farm, you can go kill the Ancients, and I can't. And the Tinker was nice enough to leave me that farm and go kill the Ancients. So I'm actually going to be able to kill those next 2 camps really, really quickly and really, really easily. And then I think I can just wrap around and kill those camps again, and I should be at my Sange and Yasha. Or very, very close to it anyway.
Yo, green dudes, something bad is
You can see my farm falls off when I leave lanes, but I don't really feel safe farming their jungle. And yeah, I'm stacking here. Well, actually, no, I messed up the stack, but I don't really feel comfortable farming their jungle, And if I want to use my hero to farm the jungle and my illusion to last hit creeps in lane, then I've got to compete with, I believe that's Tinker over here. So, in giving it, like, by just sticking to the jungle, I let the rest of my team get more farm. Which is basically the principle of, like, why you would send a hero to the jungle in the first place for any game. Cool. And we're back. I don't know what this Anisama Daisuke thing is. That's I don't know what it means. I play Dota. Okay, so Timbersaw just got wrecked in the bottom lane, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what I'm doing as Terrorblade. Now, this game isn't that high skill. My MMR solo is 4.7k, but my group MMR is 4.2k, and I was playing with some friends who were in the 3ks. So the average MMR of this game is probably around 3.8k, so it's relatively low. One of the reasons I was able to just AFK farm so well, because the metagame at that level is not as aggressive as high levels. But at any rate, if the average MMR is 3.8k and this works this well, then, you know, it can't be that bad, so to speak. I do this at higher level games, but usually in higher level games I have to be a little bit more involved moving around the map and trying to fight, or getting towers even faster. You really feel the presence of a clock on you in the high MMRs, because people will be pushing. And they feel and they're pushing because they feel the presence of a clock too, because they know you're playing Terrorblade and you're going to get big. Alright, now I'm going to finish my Sanjin Yasha. 16 minutes, 30 seconds, Sanjin Yasha, 3 Wraith Bands, Boots of Travel, Falling Blade. So it's pretty good. So it's about average. Average for Matrice, good for me, we'll put it that way. Now I'm going to be looking at a lane to push once I get healed up completely, and I believe I will choose the bottom lane, or our off lane, because it's pushed in really close to the tower and there's no hero there. At least not one visible to me. And again, I can just TP straight to the creep because I have Boots of Travel, and it doesn't cost me any mana to use my Metamorphosis and one illusion because I just did it after TPing.
Green Dude's top thing is about to get
I believe they glyph this, I don't remember though. Yeah, they glyph this. But there's a Tinker here. Oh no, Tinker decides not to come.
Yo, Green Dudes, something bad is happening. In your bottom.
And that's easy tower gold. And now I'm going to, after I get the Sanj and Yasha, I'm going to be working towards the Scotty, because this is a game where I don't have to rat, and it's kind of fun just to kill people, so. The tankiness, plus the slow, plus the damage, plus generally Scotty is one of the most awesome items there is in Dota. Going to be working towards that.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They will be making an attempt on my life now, and they're going to mess it up pretty bad. Like this Slark has to ult, or else he just straight up going to die to me. And I'm just going to ult this Bane here, who's going to die because he's an idiot. And Necrolite comes in, and Necrolite thinks he gets away. We can't catch the Slark because he's too far away, but now I have 3 points in my slow, and I can pick off the Necrolite. Normally, I don't use my slow if it's got 1 point in it, and a lot of times, Matrice and other high-level players will opt not even to level the slow until the end of the game, and they'll just get stats at level 10, and stats basically at a lot of levels after they've maxed out their ultimate and their W and E. But I like to get a point of the slow at 10 and just never use it, and then around level 13, 14, once I get, you know, 3, 4 points into my slow, then I'll use the slow. 2 points in the slow is pretty weak, 1 point's basically useless, but 3 and 4 points in the slow are really scary. The max level slow is actually incredibly strong, so I think that actually was pretty strong. How much does it do? It does 60% damage, so yeah, I mean, it was pretty strong, even at level 3. But the big thing about it is the movement slow. Like, the reason you don't cast the slow when it's level 1 is you're building Sanj and Yasha, and then you're probably building a Scotty, and between the right-click slow that you have there, you're actually going to waste time if you take the time to cast your Q at level 1, versus you'd actually be killing them faster if you just continued to walk there and right-click them. So that's why you don't really use the level 1 slow, and a lot of times you won't even use a level 2 slow if you're really farmed. If you have the Scotty, I won't use a level 2 slow unless they get super close to me anyway. Okay, this guy made a mistake. I think he's going to come back here and make a big mistake. Yeah, he's dead. I'm just going to pick him off with my illusions. People always underestimate how much damage a Terrorblade illusion does, which is one of the reasons the hero is so strong, because people don't understand how good he is.
Bad dude's top tower gonna fall over soon.
I think I'm going to kill this guy, yeah. He's dead. He's totally dead. I hit so hard. I'm level 14 and my items aren't that crazy, but this hero hits like a truck anyway. It's one of the reasons you just build stats on him, because he really doesn't care about damage. I mean, damage is great on him, because he does a lot of damage, and damage is great on any carry, but since he naturally comes with so many tools to do damage in so many different ways and positions with his illusions, then you naturally just need to get health on him and mana. Just stats on him are good because he wants more damage, he wants more attack speed, he wants more life, and he needs more mana. The hero is weak in every department when it comes to stats. The hero does a shit ton of damage and makes his own illusions and moves really fast. He's the definition of a good hard agility carry. He can split push and he can fight head on, but he needs stats. As you can see, for the majority of this game, I've just been AFK farming, but it's working really well. My team was up a decent bit anyway, but when I come out and fight with them now, it's not just like the nail in the coffin. I mean, it should be destroying any hope. We haven't lost a tier 1 tower, and now they have to fight it against an almost level 16 Terrorblade that's very close to finishing a full Scotty at 21 minutes. Like, essentially, I'm 800 gold away from a Scotty at 20 minutes, and I already have Sanj and Yasha, 3 Wraith Bands, Boots of Travel, and Quelling Blade. I'm very close. I know I'm really close.
Bad dudes, middle tower, everyone, go, now!
I'm actually going to sell, I'm going to sell both my Wraith Bands here. Or at least 2 of the 3. Because I'm really close, and even though I prefer to keep the second Wraith Band, I want to finish my Scotty right now. And some dickhead is taking the courier, but I'm just going to grab it and tell him to recrow because it's got 4,200 gold on it, so it's more important. It's kind of rare that I use the courier to pick up anything on most of the heroes I play, but when I use the courier, I like absolutely need it. Butterfly will be my next choice, of course. Generally speaking, with this hero, you get the Yasha, and then you get S and Y normally, or you get Manta if you think you're about to die, or if you're just like losing the game really hard. And then after you get your Yasha item, which you're basically your tier 3 Yasha, like either your S and Y or your Manta, then you have a choice between Butterfly and Scotty. And I've talked about this before in my guide. You get the Scotty if you want to fight, if you're winning or you want to fight early. You get the Butterfly if you're split pushing. If you went for the Manta, you will always go for the Butterfly next. This being that you have now, there's 5 of you, and they all have that great damage from the Manta, and they have the evasion, which is nice against the towers. However, regardless of whether you get your Butterfly first or your Scotty first, the item you get after that item will always be the other item. So if you get Scotty first, then you go Butterfly. If you get Butterfly first, you go Scotty after it, if the game goes on long enough. Because both of those items are so good on this hero. Personally, I think, I won't say either or is better, it just depends on the situation. Generally speaking, if you're winning, or if you're having fun, if you feel comfortable in the game, go for the Scotty. If you feel like you've got to pull out all stops, or you went for a Manta first, get the Butterfly first. I'm picking off some more towers here. I mean, these guys should see the writing on the wall. I'm actually going to die here pretty soon, I think. I think I'll take out some people with me, though. Yeah. Yeah, I'm toast. I'm gonna get me-pwned here. Hard for them to kill me, though. I had 29 armor.
Green dude's top thing is about to get knocked over.
I'm gonna go ahead and skip until when I'm back alive. Sorry guys, I'm getting a little impatient. I've already casted this game once today. Okay, so now I've got my Ring of Aquila, I've got the Talisman of Evasion for my Butterfly, I've got the Eye of Scotty, Sanjin Yasha, Boots of Travel. So essentially, once I finish the butterfly, I'll be 4 slotted.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
No, no, no.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Hey, you guys.
And the healing from the Phoenix right here is really doing some work. Absolutely genius setup from both of us. It wasn't really my thinking, I just kind of had those illusions clustered like that, and he thought, I could heal the hell out of them right now. I'm kind of ignoring everyone and just focusing on the buildings at this point, because that's what I do in every game. However, who am I going to ult? Oh, I remember. I ulted the Timbersaw on our team. It's kind of a trolly thing that you do in pub games sometimes. It's mean, don't do it. But he was on the Skype call with me, and I was like, I'm going to ult you now so I don't die. And he's a Timbersaw and I'm a Terrorblade, so he kind of understood. Sorry if I've lost a little bit of my enthusiasm after already casting this game once. What I'm going to do now is farm up this Camp of Ancients and then farm it again after it dies. And after that I'm going to go to the Dire Side Jungle, grab the haste rune there, and basically just try to get up to that 3,300 mark to get my butterfly before the game ends. This game was a lot of fun and I really didn't want it to end. Any game when you're winning with Terrorblade's a fun game. So let's do a little fast forwarding. Okay, so I had this illusion right here, come down and kill this camp, and then queued it to go over and kill the small camp. Which will put me at just enough money, I think. Yeah. Put me at enough money. And I'm still going down to fight these Ancients because I'm just waiting on the courier to come over. Let's speed this up a bit, you don't need to watch this. Now I'll meet up with the courier. Finally get my butterfly. And TP mid. And the writing should be on the wall for them, they know what's up. They just had one person DC anyway. Like I said, it's mid, upper 3k MMR average game, so... It was listed as high skill, but it really is not, like, high skill. Like, I'm just gonna ult a Meepo and kill him now. Yeah, I mean... The kills weren't that crazy, but I just AFK farmed all game and they never obstructed me. So, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the sound down to about 5. And I'd really like to know what you guys think about this style of video. Please, if you've watched this whole video, leave me some feedback and tell me, do you like seeing me play games like almost like I'm streaming of heroes like Terrorblade and see this action live? Or do you find it more useful for me to play games with these heroes and then after the fact go through the replay of the hero and go through everything I did and why I did it and what was going through my head at the time? I understand this video wasn't the highest of quality that it could have been. It's not as good as the first time I recorded it, but my voice is starting to give out, and I don't know why the sound messed up, but I'm going to be more thorough and do a lot more testing before I record anything else from now on. Anyway, thank you for watching. My name is Esports Money's ESN, MAC10, whatever you want to call me, and my GPM is 822. So I will catch you guys later. Thank you for watching. Remember, leave me comments, questions, concerns, complaints in this video's comments, and I'll see you later. Peace.